Hello, I am your new favorite JJ Caballero, joined by the lovely Goins, Casey Goins. And this is Mono Stereo Video, a podcast about movie music. I'm a songwriter, producer, DJ, while Casey is an amazing hairstylist and salon owner, and we love movies and music, and this is the perfect excuse to talk about music and movies. What's going on, my love? How you doing? Oh, shit.
Ooh.
Oh.
I'm full.
Yeah. We had a very good dinner.
Yeah, I got off work not super late, so
Right.
made some comida. It was good.
Yeah. Rest in peace to the fish or the dead fish
salmon.
already. The salmon that you got.
Yeah, I went to Albertsons and I was super excited because I had 2 pieces of salmon. And then when I was about to start cooking them, I took them out of the bag.
Yep.
And then it just didn't smell good. And then it dawned on me to check for a date.
Yeah.
And it was like 5 days
It was
past.
like 5 days. And then it smelled like garbage.
It smelled like garbage.
Yeah, it smelled like garbage.
Basura!
It looked okay, but yeah, it smelled like caca.
Yeah.
So
The looks were deceiving.
yeah, it looks were very
perfectly
deceiving.
fine.
Mm-hmm.
But no, yeah, we didn't need it.
We didn't need it. We did not need it for our food. Yeah, that bread was really good. It was real thick. It was good shit.
Real thick.
So welcome back to Mono Stereo Video. Thank you for being cool with the delay of a day. A little bit of an update on that in just a bit. But just thank you very much for listening to previous episodes. Thank you for listening to the episode that I did before this. The episode I did before this was like a primer on Oneohtrix Point Never and the Safdies. Somewhat of a primer. And then I went through like music news and I ranted a little bit about stuff. And I think I watched
a little Kurt Loder.
Yeah, I watched
music news.
Yeah, I watched the what's it, the preview, the trailer for the new Lego Pharrell movie.
Oh, I didn't know there was a Lego Pharrell movie.
Yeah, it's like, what if we told the story of my life in Legos? And I talk shit about it. So
Oh
yeah.
my god.
Yeah, I talk shit about that. So anyway, this episode is coming to you live. And by that I mean very little edits. So we gotta be on this shit today. I'm gonna very much like try to
You giving me those gigantic
Oh,
eyeballs.
already. I'm like, put your hands.
You're gonna give me the Jack Skellington
Uh-huh.
face.
Put your hands to your side. Put your hands to your side. Put your notebook on your lap.
I'm gonna pretend it's
Do not
like
touch your face.
I'm gonna pretend it's like one of those baby shower games, like where you can't cross your arms and you can't do. Oh no, that's a lot of pressure.
Because I'm gonna. So today it's a record, quick edit, and a swick edit, and upload day. I'm gonna upload right after I do a quick edit and then upload right after this. So let's see how we go
Straight
today.
to stream.
Straight to streaming. Let's see how this goes today. A little bit live. But thank you very much for bearing with us for that. That's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome of you. You could find us at Mono Stereo Video on Instagram. You could find us at deepcuts_EP, at _JJCABALLERO, at Casey Goins. Or no, Casey is Harry. At Casey is Harry.
I don't know why that caught me off guard. Sorry. That was not as funny as
Yeah.
I'm making it seem.
Casey is Harry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Casey's. But I mean, I think you can just get more updates on Mono Stereo Video from our shit. Follow us on that, www.jjcaballero.com. I want to plug in our Ko-Fi website. So as well as I upload this, I believe, so you're going to listen to this on Friday. Tomorrow, I want to say I will have up
Isn't tomorrow?
tomorrow, Saturday, because they're listening to this on Friday.
Oh.
The record is on Thursday. But you're listening to this today on Friday, June 21st. Happy birthday, Dad! Happy birthday, Dad! That's also a thing. That's what's been up. There's been like if we could just put birthday.
Yeah.
That's the month name.
June is just birthdays.
June is just birthday.
All the birthdays.
It's too much.
Happy birthday.
It's a lot.
Javier Sr.
Happy birthday, Dad. Happy birthday. By the time you guys are hearing this, we will probably be okay. If you're hearing this on Friday, we'll probably be at the Chihuahuas with him. Which, oh man, it was a great game. We had a good time. Oh, the wind was a little nutty, but that's wild. Oh wow. Okay. Anyway, that's probably what we'll do.
I'm excited to wear my jersey. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, Casey got a pretty cute jersey.
I got a Karomi jersey, and it's the most beautiful purple color. It's a really pretty purple.
And it has
lots
really
of
nice.
cutesy little pink hearts and cute shit on it.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. I like it. I do like it. It was pretty cool. Either way, tomorrow, when you look on our Ko-Fi page, and you can follow the link in our little description here and such, and I'll also have links in my link tree and all that shit too on our social medias. Either way, if you look at our Ko-Fi page, you will see that I'm also doing some video content. I'm doing some video stuff. I'm calling it MSV TV. I'm doing...
That would be a cool shirt.
Right?
Like, even just because of the letters, just to have all of that.
That's a lot of letters, but that's pretty cool.
MSV TV!
KMFDM, MSV TV. Ooh, that could be some sort of shirt, like a KMFDM design, but MSV TV. Ooh, there you go. That'd be cool. Either way, I mean, let's help us get this launched and kicked off. So I'm gonna post it on our Ko-Fi page for free. You could watch it for free. MSV TV, I'm going to be reviewing music videos. I reviewed the music videos of the Safdie Brothers, who are somewhat the subjects of our first film in this little grouping today. And the music videos were pretty cool. I had a good time watching those music videos. It was real fun. So I thought, it kind of needs to be video to do that, and I've been wanting to do something like that, so I'm going to post that up there. There's also going to be snippets on YouTube, so you can check out our YouTube page and such. You can just search for Mono Stereo Video or MSV TV and check all that out there too. I'll have a link in the thing here too. So all the links are going to be everywhere in the thing.
Lincoln.
Yeah. Lincoln, what was it? What did they call him from Encino Man? Linkovich? Something ski.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Linkovich was Brendan Fraser's.
I know they called him Link, but I don't remember it being that name.
Yeah. Okay, anyway. So that's going to be up on the Ko-Fi page. So check that out. That's going to be up there for free. Some of the stuff, so we are planning some paywalled stuff to do. We've got some ideas for some episodes and some watch-alongs. Those will be paywalled. But right now, you can just go on. You can check out that video, and if you want to donate, you're more than welcome to donate. If you can, if you have the time, if you've got the means and such, go ahead. Or you can become a monthly member and donate monthly to us and help support what we do. Costs do incur. It takes a lot of time to do this, but there's also little things that we got to pay for monthly, and shit piles up. So that anything that could help out is much appreciated. But I'm gonna keep doing these things because it's fun. That was really fun. It was really fun to do, and I got a new headset that has a fucking. It's like a gamer's headset, and it's just real easy to set up on my computer, and I can just fucking talk in it forever.
Like, so you're gonna have gamer.
I have it on I look like a little gamer.
It's just funny, because I ordered it for him on Amazon, and just seeing you, because it came overnight, and since you were already awake and you had been working already, coming out of the bedroom, and you're huge. Just wearing it.
It's huge. It's so comfortable.
I was like, whoa, gamer.
Yeah, it's so comfortable.
Oh,
so
man.
Thank you for all that, and thank you for checking that out. If you've already checked that out, boom. Next thing on the agenda, Free Palestine. Free Palestine. I've got a bunch of links in the thing here too to help out Gazans any way we can. Any way you can. This shit's still going on. Fucking Israel. I mean, I saw that we had some listeners from Israel, so I'm not talking shit about you. I'm pretty sure if you've listened to us, you are aware of where we stand in our politics and shit. But Free Palestine, oh man, a lot of stuff going on there, and just keep up to date with it. I won't get into too much detail here since we're live, quote unquote. Yeah, I think that's the next. And I mean, the next. I'm gonna talk about something else on the next episode,
Mm-hmm.
probably. So just that. But yeah, let's yeah. What were you gonna say? You
Oh
look like
no,
you
I
wanted to
was
say
just waiting.
something.
I didn't know if you were gonna announce what, because I was like, I don't think we've even said what we're talking about today yet.
Well, we are talking about 2017's The Safdie Brothers' Good Time. It stars Robert Pattinson and Benny Safdie. Mainly Robert Pattinson in
Mm-hmm.
like a whole kind of excursion. It's a wild. Their movies are anxious.
They're like, yeah, gut wrenching and just
Hmm.
like you're biting your nails and like what's gonna happen.
I believe. Well, I'll post it in the things today. I watched a video just talking about like the style and what they're going for and such, and like it made me appreciate it more. And then
Mm-hmm.
like this time, since it wasn't the first time I saw it, like
Mm-hmm.
the last time was, I knew what to expect,
You're more at
so I
ease.
was at ease, and it was
Mm-hmm.
like I was able to enjoy
To just
the
watch it.
visuals, to enjoy the storytelling of it, and see how they do the things that they do. Yeah, that was
Mm-hmm.
cool. That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
So
I was
okay,
gonna
yeah,
say,
say that's why.
going back to Encino Man,
Yeah, that's why.
they named him Linkovich Chomovsky.
Chamovsky?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I can't even remember what you said before, but I was like, no.
Linkovich. I
But
just said
not the last name was.
Wadowski, some Wadowski. I didn't know Wadowski.
Hmm. Canon.
Either way, so these dudes all hooked up. I was watching this interview and Daniel Lopatin, Oneohtrix Point Never. He's from the Massachusetts area. He now moves out to New York. In my last episode, kind of the founder of vaporwave. His style of music, it's very beat driven. It's kind of like a growth off of like Aphex Twin type music.
Mm-hmm.
He uses sparse drums. It's electronic music, but it's like there's not a lot of percussiveness. There's also not a lot of like cohesion in his music. The songs are very linear in that they go different places and they just kind of like follow a line. You won't repeat so many things, and I mean that's kind of characteristic of today's soundtrack. But he's in that realm, and he was like a New Yorker at this time, and the Softies were kind of like in the same circles. Everybody knew who. In one interview, he's like, everybody knew who the Softies were. Everybody knew that they had this charismatic way of talking about it. They were real passionate about the things that they were doing. They had made 2 films before, Daddy Longlegs and Heaven Knows What, and Oneohtrix. Daniel Lopatin said that he saw Heaven Knows What, and I was like, oh shit, it's a good ass movie. I watched the Ariel Pink video that came out of that movie last time. I'll show you the video. It's pretty cool. But it's Ariel Pink. I mean, whatever. But it's a weird song, and it's cool. But that's like a heroin ride, and it's like the main actress. It's kind of her tale of how she went through heroin stuff and like her I think her journals or something like that. Like she kind of they based everything on that. So that's what that's about. And I think that Daddy Longlegs is about the Safdie brothers' relationship with their dad somewhat.
Okay.
Okay. And then this one, Good Time, was it's they wanted to illustrate like like the system and kind of. I don't want to say like their one of their visions is like kind of like the not I don't want to say the word bottom dwellers, but like like the normal ass people like us, right? Like where we're stuck in lines waiting for help at a hospital, or you know what I mean? Like there's like
Yeah.
we have to
We're
go
not
bail
we're
somebody
not
out.
privileged.
Yeah. There's like it's not a fucking movie picturesque world. It's the real world.
That's yeah, because like remember how we said we were gonna rewatch The Curse?
Yes.
And it's like they're talking about specific pockets of people and showing
and then
classes
gentrification on
of
that shit.
people.
Yes, yeah, and there's that's a big like what they're trying to illustrate with what they're putting together. They use non-actors as different people. Like I'll go about it, but the bail bondsman in this is an actual bail bondsman in New York and stuff. He's an actual dude. So you could like when you watch it, you could like that scene, the way he went about him talking on the phone.
Yeah,
like, you could
like
tell
it was just real.
another day for him. That he's real used to doing that. Yeah. So I think stuff like that's real cool. We'll go over that in Uncut Gems as well because there's a bunch of little like quote unquote cameos of like New York people and just like people who are just regulars on the scenes of that, like the diamond running scene out there and stuff too. So we'll go over that when we get to that movie, which I'm nervous to watch again, but this time too, like because
we already know what's
know what's happening. Yeah. So that's what's up with this. So they reached out to him. They met up at the Safdie's offices. And the Safdies were given, they heard about Lopatin through like a mix they were given, and they loved the song Behind the Bank. Behind the Bank. Oh, let me fucking pull that up while we're on here. Behind the Bank, which was on the Riffs mixtape. So that's what that is. I like that. That's pretty. I think this sounds like something that was sampled on something. I mean, I've heard a lot of his. I listened to his music.
Yeah,
like, It's very. There's a lot of relaxing stuff. There's also like YouTube compilations of like sleep mix, Oneohtrix Point Never, sleep, like his most ambient music, stuff like that. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on there. But Vaporwave, this is what's up. This is what got them got him noticed by the Safdie brothers. And they connected on that level, and they were like, "Oh, cool!" They're both very enthusiastic about the things that they were talking about. Like he was very enthusiastic about that movie because of the realness and like what it portrayed, and just that they have like a soft eye about it. You know what I mean? Like we'll go over some of it. Bless you.
Excuse me.
We'll go over some of it. Bless you.
Oh, excuse me.
In some of the scenes, but there's like that they have like, bless you, they have like compassion for the characters. It's not just, they're not just nothing people
exploiting them.
Yeah, they're not exploiting them either. They're not the most ridiculous people in the world. Like it's just people who are people. Yeah. So that's what that is there. And this is considered bless you, love. Ooh. This is considered a Oneohtrix Point Never album. And he was pretty excited for that because he had previously done music for The Bling Ring, and like I said, that one movie that Vincent Cassell had.
Okay.
And bless you.
Goodness.
That was under Daniel Lopatin.
Okay.
That was all under Daniel Lopatin there. Yeah, that's what that was. So let's go through this cast list. I mean, when did you first see this movie?
I mean, I saw it soon after it was released. I think it might have been one of those movies that I was able to see through
like Showbox or something?
Yeah, I think it might have been Showbox.
And if you haven't seen it before, the cover is pretty recognizable. I mean, his face like just kind of smashed like into Good Time.
Right? Is it pink or red?
There's like pink. There's like reddish. Yeah, reddish pink.
That's what it's all the pops of color. But yeah, I remember wanting to see it because I was just like, he looks crazy in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, and then seeing the trailer, I was just like, oh, that looks cool. But yeah, I didn't know who the Safdies were at the time.
Neither
I
did
just learned about them from the movie.
Yeah. I was just like, I think when Uncut Gems came out and there was such a hype about that this was their movie and such, it was like, oh, what's that? And then you were like, Good Time, that's a good one. And I was like, oh, let's watch this. And I watched it with you for the first time. Yeah, so that was that. And I had seen it on, on the streamers. It was just kind of everywhere on all the little streamers at one point.
Because then I think after that, was it Netflix that put it out? No.
I think it might have been Netflix because I had
think
Netflix
so.
for a long time.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was Netflix, and then maybe like Hulu or something like that. I used to call it Hulu.
You did?
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why I call it Hulu.
Yeah.
Anyway.
A little contrarian.
Robert Pattinson stars in this as Connie Nikas, and Benny Safdie is his brother Nick Nikas. And Robert Pattinson totally transformed himself. It's very good. We've already talked a lot about Robert Pattinson on this show. We talked about him on our Twilight series, which you should probably check out and such, which would be cool because we talked a lot about him.
Yeah, shout out to my friend Jen.
Oh, yeah.
I did her hair today, and she was telling me that her and her sister, that they were talking about that because they were listening. She's the one that I used to work with at Mastercuts.
Oh, that you said that you... Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
So she said her and her sister were...
Ooh, did we talk shit?
No, I love Jen. Jen's cool.
Just kidding. I know, just kidding. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome, cool. So yeah, shouts out. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for listening. This is another RPAT movie.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is like what I like about him because he did this. He does things like this. He did this. He did Cosmopolis. He did, and then he became Batman. Like, he
Yeah.
was fucking like a weird Batman too,
Right?
like emo Batman.
Emo Batman. Love
Yeah.
it.
He's also, and then Tenet, and then The Lighthouse, and then right, yeah, that movie that we hadn't finished called High Life. We
I
haven't
know.
finished that
I've
one.
been wanting to see it, but it's
I
because it
know.
was like it
a
is
slow-
one of those that's a slow burn,
burn.
and so we were already half sleepy. So
That's what it was.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's totally what it was. Either way, Robert Pattinson, Constantine Nikas. Okay, I didn't get
Okay.
I didn't get that. I didn't get that before.
I didn't know that either. I knew
Yeah.
Connie, but
Yeah.
mhm.
And Benny Safdie's Nick, and he's developmentally disabled in this, and I like that Benny doesn't play it. It's enough to make it known, but it's not enough to be exploitative.
Yeah, because it's like he's not. He seems very high functioning. It's
Yes.
just, you know what I mean. Like he takes things a little like too literally and
Yes.
stuff like that, and
Yes.
he doesn't have like the best social skills. You know what I
Yes.
mean? But
yes.
very, to me, very high functioning.
Yeah,
Like super,
exactly. Yeah.
like
just a guy. He's a guy that you'd
just
probably meet.
has a hard time keeping a job, and you know what I
Yeah,
mean.
that type of thing
They're
too.
not well off.
Yeah.
and-
Yeah, and like their motivation for like that robbery, which I mean, this movie starts off with a robbery, but their motivation is like his what he thinks is his motivation is like they're gonna have a
he's
farm.
motivated to
and-
have the money because I mean it's the money and whatever, and he tells Nick.
Nick tells Connie.
No, Connie tells Nick
Oh, Connie
that
tells
it's
Nick.
to have a farm and do all of
Yes.
this. So it's like you don't really know if he was gonna go through
Yes.
with all of that, or
Yes.
if he was just telling him that so he would help him.
Or if he was just having a good time.
Mhm.
Ah.
You're ridiculous. No dad jokes. You're not a dad.
But Benny Safdie, he's also, I mean, he's co-director of this movie, Oppenheimer, fucking The Curse. Like, he's in stuff. He's very, like, he's real good at this shit. Like, and then in Oppenheimer, he kicked ass too. He was real good in Oppenheimer. I don't know. I really liked him. I really liked his
I
character.
liked him in the
Curse,
curse
yeah.
because he was so I disliked his
Yeah,
character.
yeah.
Just like
Yeah, he was very good at. Yeah, he's a good actor. Yeah,
He has
yeah.
range.
He's got range. Good on that. Yeah, fuck yeah. Bunny.
Bunny.
Buddy Duress as Ray. He's a criminal that comes out later on, like
All bandaged up
and such. And then I like the little tale about him and stuff that he tells, like his backstory and stuff. We'll get to it. We'll get to the little synopsis of everything also. But Buddy, let's see. Oh, he was in Heaven Knows What. I saw that he was in another film. What was the movie? A movie called Person to Person. Ah, man, what's the one? Funny Pages. A movie called Flinch. A movie called PVT Chat. He was on... I guess Rachel Dratch had a late night show, and he was on like an episode of that.
Okay.
He's got like a... Buddy Duress died at his residence in Astoria, Queens, in November of 2023 at the age of 38. Rest in power. Rest in
That's what I
power.
was kind of thinking. I was like, I feel like I remember
Ooh.
seeing his name or hearing his name.
His cause of death was cardiac arrest caused by a drug cocktail, including heroin. So, he was, I mean, his character, like, who know, maybe he was living the life. Like, who knows how that is. That's the thing too about the Softies too, is that they had actual like dudes that they knew that went that have gone through the system. That's how they knew like about Riker, like how to go through all of that, and like they wanted to make it as real as possible, so they had like them as like their consultants on the film and stuff. Like, hey, well, how does this go?
Right, like when they take you in, like what does it look like, and who's this, and who stands there?
Yeah. And I mean, it's shot on various locations and stuff. I don't know if they shot on Rikers Island because that's supposed to be where Benny's held, but I don't know. Yeah, I wonder, huh? Jennifer Jason Leigh was Corey Ellman, who Connie's older girlfriend.
I love that she always just plays like crazy.
Right.
She's always just wild and crazy. I love it.
Yeah.
She always plays like crazy.
She's the best. Like,
she's so good at like Unhinged. She's so good.
And I think the cut. I like her in the cut. Jennifer Jason Leigh.
She's the sister, right?
Yeah, she was the sister in that. Wasn't she on a
Single white female?
Single white female.
Yeah, that was the ultimate.
Let's see. Hudsucker Proxy. We gotta watch that. I've seen it once. The Hudsucker Proxy. That's a Coen Brothers movie. Yeah. I mean, she's been in so much. Let's see. There's what else am I thinking of? There's one.
The latest one I can think of was the one with Natalie Portman. The sci-fi movie. Ugh, with an A. I can't.
Annihilation?
Yeah.
The Alex Garland? Oh, that's right. She was in that. She was in
something after that too, and I cannot think of.
She was in that woman in the window. Let's see. White Boy Rick. Possessor. Remember that movie, Possessor? Yeah. Mm-hmm. She was in that. That's right. She's in a lot of like wild movies. What was that movie? Existence. Remember Existence with Jude Law? Yeah, she was on that. Yeah, she's awesome, an amazing actor. She can do it. She knows what's up in the way of doing the movie.
Oh my goodness.
I know. I'm not gonna edit that. You're gonna hear that. You're just gonna hear that. Yeah, you're just gonna hear that. But she's in this as well, and she's just wild in this. Like, yeah, Nick just uses her, and just there's that. That's wild. Let's see. Barkat Abdi as Dash, the park security guard. He was also in The Curse.
Yes,
he's also in The Curse. What else have we? He's been in a lot recently too. Like, he just kind of pops up. Yeah, like aside from, so he popped out in Captain Phillips. He's your captain now. That was his his breakout. Yeah, it's his scene, and he's because he's Somalian, right? He's a Somalian actor. And what else was he in? There's something. Oh, Blade Runner. He was in Blade Runner.
Okay.
He was in Blade Runner. Yeah, he was great in The Curse also. Oh, he was on Castle Rock. Was he on Castle? He was on Castle Rock. I don't remember him.
I want to rewatch that.
Yeah,
the one with what's her face, right?
Yeah, what's her face? Lizzie Kaplan, that's right. I had to think about it. I had to think about it. Yeah, I had to think about it. But that's that. And then I wanna see the bondsman's name. What's his name? Oh, Eric Pakert as Eric, the bail bondsman. Let's see, Rose Gregorio. She's an actress. She was Jennifer Jason Leigh's mom and she's like just kind of in the background. But I was looking at her filmography. So many movies, like just so many parts, and then bigger movies, but like little parts. So that's cool. I like when it's that type of shit too. When it's like
just consistent.
Yeah, like those people probably have just like the craziest stories because they were like, oh yeah, I was on set for that, and that happened this day, and then I went to work on that, and oh, he was an asshole, or that's a cool fucking, yeah, that's cool. So many other people on this that were just kind of in it and out of it. I want to. They're the driver for the bus driver at the end. He's been in a bunch of movies too. He was in like some Spike Lee films and some other films as well. But that bus driver, I mean, blink and you'll miss him. But in other movies, he's recognizable enough. Like he was like, I've seen that guy. I've seen that guy. So I like that too. Like they do it enough to where, like, Robert Pattinson, like it didn't take me out of the movie that it was Robert Pattinson.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we start off with a close up of Benny's face, of Nick's face. I like that. And it's just like the music just, you know what I mean? And it's just kind of opening on there. And then we kind of just figure out, like, okay, he's disabled.
He's being interviewed or assessed by a counselor.
By a counselor, caseworker. Yeah, you know, and
sorry.
And it's kind of like there's that one tear that rolls down his face, and it's kind of like you
can kind of tell, like, something, he wants to say something, and then boom, Connie bursts in, and it's like, what the fuck?
And I was seeing on that too, on that little documentary that I saw, they were talking about how it goes from like a steady cam, and it's just like steady on Benny's face, steady on the doctor's face, and then right when Robert Pattinson enters, it's handheld, and it's like everything's moving, and it's a little more chaotic and
you
stuff.
Feel it. You're just like, Aye.
Yeah, and you feel the chaos, and that's how like he enters the movie, and it's just right there. You're just like in the middle of all the shit. You don't really even know much about them.
He's very pushy and selfish and like demanding,
and you get that right away. You get that right away at the beginning. That's what's really cool about that.
And he's a bully too. Yeah.
He takes advantage of people, and he just
of his brother, obviously.
Yeah, he's not really like a social climber. He knows how to manipulate things for his advantage. Yeah, he takes advantage of everything in every case, and that's the wild ride we go in. And
like he just goes with it and like tells lie after lie after lie, and it just snowballs.
And they rob a bank successfully. Those masks were pretty. I mean, semi-successfully. It's somewhat successfully, but those masks were
pretty cool. I'm like, those are for them being like. I'm like, where did you get those masks? Right. Like, those were pretty high tech. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe they weren't high tech, but to me, they looked very like it wasn't just a regular like Halloween mask from Party City that you're gonna put on. Like,
it looked molded.
It was pretty legit. Like, it moved with your face.
Yeah. I mean, it's a movie, but I guess they weren't recognized as having masks until they were up close to somebody, you know. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, like passing them, if you weren't like watching them, like you wouldn't know that wasn't a person's face.
Yeah, and I like that it wasn't a movie. Yeah, and I like that it wasn't a movie style robbery, right? Like,
no, it was very like, it was quiet. Like, it didn't like, they passed the note and it was like, give me the money. But it was like that when they were still standing there waiting, when she took so long in the back, I was like, what? Like, the cops could have walked in by now while you were waiting for her. Like, but they waited, and I'm like, that already, like,
yeah, it was already like tonto. Yeah, it was like tonto.
So
you guys got
they
yourself.
Basically they get out of the bank and they they call their ride, and the guy is like,
yes,
there's cops all over the place, and I had to park somewhere else.
Yep.
So they finally get in the ride's car, and while they're in there, he's trying to hype up Nick and like tell him he did a good job and stuff, and Nick doesn't even realize like what just happened. He's just like, I want to take this mask off my face, like, you know.
Oh, that's right. And like they take off their shit real quick. They have a few layers of clothes. Nick's like, no,
they haven't. I didn't say that it went off yet.
No, I'm just saying no, because he was still like, even after when he was taking off his mask. No, when he was taking off his mask, he's like, but yeah, and then and then.
And then while they're riding in the car, they hear something like making sounds inside the money bag. And even then, like when Connie's like, do you want to see it? Do you want to look at it? And it's like, Why are you already telling on yourself? Like, you're not a very good, like, he's not a good bad guy. He's not a good, like, thief. You know what I mean?
He's just out there to have blundering. Good time.
Goodness. You're ridiculous. But yeah, anyway, basically there's like a color bomb that goes off in there, and the driver crashes, and they get out of the car and they're covered in like red dye.
Red dye. Mm-hmm.
And so they're trying to, it's like a very bright color. And he gets him to take off the extra set of clothes so that way, like, and he's trying to wash their faces, and they go inside a Domino's because that's the first place to go. And already they're like, get out of the bathroom. And
they go in the bathroom in a Domino's.
Give me a minute. That bathroom scene was so like intense because they're just banging on the door, and he's like, wash your face. And then he's like getting the toilet water and splashing, and he's like, no.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Bob, like he just wanted to wash his face, you know? I saw you give me Jack Skellington eyes. What?
Jess.
Oh.
Jess?
I was like, what?
That was a good, I mean, I've been in similar situations in restrooms where like I was drunk and shit. So it's like, you know, and I don't know. There's like little muscle memory for certain things here. I'm like, ooh, like, that was a
sphincter was like,
like the bail bonds shit was like, like, you know, getting the bail bond and getting out of jail.
Just the whole situation of them being in there too.
Yes. Yeah. So they get out. It seems as though they're gonna get away. They make a change of clothes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're walking down the street, and he's telling him to calm down and whatever. And a cop just so happens to pull up next to them because they're wearing their hoods, and they're just like, "Hey, like, what are you guys doing?" And this and that. And of course, like Nick is like already like, oh, you see cops, and you're like, so. Connie's telling like him to be cool and whatever, and he just takes off running.
Yep.
And so after that, like Connie has to run with him. So they're running, and the cops are chasing them, and they run through like a strip mall, and they're trying to get away. And you feel like they're finally going to get away. And Connie's like going too fast. And so he gets out from the door, and then Nick's like behind telling him to wait, and he ends up crashing through the glass.
Yep.
And kind of like knocks himself out a little bit, and the cops catch him.
And that was real too. Like it wasn't like movie glass. Like I watched Beverly Hills Cop yesterday.
Oh,
it was a point when he was thrown through glass, and he just gets up like, "Hey man, what's that? What's happening, man?" And like Benny in this one, like he goes through glass, and,
and you're just like,
Yep.
Yeah.
He goes through the glass, and he's caught.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably would have gotten away. They probably would have gotten away. I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, just it's like one thing after the other. You're just like, no way, not like that. That's their movies.
Yeah,
that's their. It's like
no, why'd you do that?
Fuck!
Like stop doing that.
No. Yes. That's this
like
movie.
Like a stub toe. The whole movie is a stub toe.
Yeah.
Like
and seeming like it's like okay, you got away, you got away with it. You got
like
away
okay,
with
don't
it.
do anything else, and then you do another thing where it's like you're adding to the like why?
Yeah, that's their movies. Yeah.
Yep.
So like the rest that sets up the rest of the film. Connie needs to bail out Nick. Connie needs to get him out of jail because Nick's in there. Goes to Rikers. He's developmentally disabled, so yeah, I mean it's gonna be bad in there for him. It's gonna be pretty bad in there for him.
Well, yeah, when they show the scene when he arrives at the jail, like already he's just kind of like, or maybe it happens a little later in the movie. What I'm thinking of when he like is trying to change the channel on the television,
and they
get all pissed off, and they all end up beating him up.
So that happens in this too, and in the ruckus of it all. Yeah.
And then during all of the ruckus, what else happens? So Connie comes up with the bright idea. Oh no, he ends up finding out that the brother is at the hospital, and he's told that his brother's at the hospital. He goes to the bail bondsman. He's 10,000 short. He needs to get 10,000. He goes and meets Jennifer Jason Leigh. Jennifer Jason Leigh's like his girlfriend, quote unquote, but
you can tell it's
she's like a sugar mama, but she's basically taking advantage of her mother to fund everything.
So there's a whole thing where we see him manipulate her into using her mom's credit card,
the mom's credit card
to use, and then like the mom shuts down the credit card, and there's a whole fucking scene with that where she's like, "What the fuck?"
And that's part of one of the songs in the soundtrack.
Yeah, that was fucking cool. That was pretty awesome. I love that. Yeah,
I liked that.
Yeah, it was really cool. And then so he needs to get money to bail him out, and then when he's there talking to him, he learns
the bail bondsman says that he's at the hospital.
Yeah, he's at the hospital.
So then Connie schemes to get into the hospital and figure out what room the brother's in. And so he takes the brother in the wheelchair, managed to get him out of the hospital all bandaged up. And he gets on the little bus that's supposed to drop people off. And even gets the bus driver to drop him off and tricks him. And he says, "You're not on the list." And he still gets a ride anyway. And he ended up making
his way. He finesses his way through.
Yeah.
He pulls out a dude. Yeah, thinks it's his brother.
Yeah, and so
goes to the last stop on the bus.
He ends up going back to one of the ladies he talked to on the bus, her house, so that he could use the phone. And she lets him go in there, and she's kind of like a boarding house, I guess, and offers like a room to him so that the brother can stay there while he goes to get more money.
I don't even think it was a boarding house. I think it was just like they just had a room open.
Yeah,
and it's just like
it's just a way to make money.
Yeah, you can just go use that room. I just need.
And so,
I don't even think it was to make. I think it was just like, oh shit, like, well, you can use that room over there. I think it was like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. I guess.
Yeah, because it wasn't in the best. Like, it's not in the best neighborhood. You know what I mean? And then I believe she was also not an actress as well. The grandmother, the grandmother wasn't.
She seemed like a...
Oh, and then I forgot to. That's where he meets Crystal, who was played by Talia Webster. Talia Webster. She's been in another couple of movies, but she's the little 16-year-old granddaughter. And that reminded that whole interaction like. That's teens.
Yeah.
Like,
they're so like...
Why am I not fun?
They're so nonchalant. Like, the whole way she gets into that situation, and it's just like, what? Like, why did you go? And why'd you believe him? And
she starts talking to him. And I mean, he
flirts with her, so she basically is just kind of trying to act like... older, and be cool and whatever.
Yeah, she's like, I know drug dealers. My ex-boyfriend was a drug dealer.
He ends up like finding hair dye under the sink to disguise himself.
Yeah.
And starts a conversation with her, and then the supposed brother wakes up in the other room, and
while
he realizes
like, making out and like gonna fuck in the other bedroom and stuff like that. Yep.
Yeah. And he realizes that it's not the brother, it's this other random guy. Yep. And he's just like shouting all loud and being obnoxious. That whole scene too.
Ray, played by Buddy Rarest.
Oh, yeah. When he's stressful. Shouting and yelling.
He's like, and he I was like, be quiet. And he's like, fuck off, bro. Fuck off. So we were like, he didn't pull Nick out. He pulled out Ray. And it's this whole thing.
Now he has to figure out how to get rid of Ray and find where his brother is actually at. And in the whole middle of that, Ray tells him about
he recounts his story on how he ended up there.
How he got into the hospital and that he left a bottle of acid at some amusement park because the cops were chasing them. It's basically the bottle of Sprite
bottle here. Yes.
And it's basically a bottle of Sprite filled with acid, and that he was planning to sell it with some other guy. And Connie, hearing this, is like, "Oh, that's a great idea. Let's go back for that so we can sell it and make money so that I can get my brother out of the fucking hospital, out of the bail bonds, whatever." So he gets Talia. You said her name was Crystal to let him borrow the grandma's car, and they go.
They end up going. So they're driving back to the hospital because Robert Pattinson's like, we gotta get Benny Safdie out, and and fucking Ray's like, I can't go back there, bro. There's so many fucking cops there.
They can't go to the
Ray's
hospital.
I can't fucking go there, bro. I'm not going back to prison, bro. I'm not going. So they end up going to a White Castle. The girl goes inside the White Castle to get them some food, and they're like, they're thinking about leaving her there.
Yeah, coming up with a scheme.
Coming up with a
figure out how to
scheme.
get rid of her.
And even that, like, I was gonna mention. Okay, so a couple of things. I was gonna mention in the hospital scene, right? Like, it kind of shows. It kind of illustrates like where Robert Pattinson's at, where you feel for him. Because like in that one scene, so he hides in a hospital room in a room, and he hears hello, and it's some old lady, and he goes and sees the old lady, and she's kind of like, you could tell she's kind of fucked up, like something happened to her eyes or something, and like he gives her juice, which is like, oh, okay, it's like compassionate, and like we're all on the same level, but then he has to take a sip of it also. You know what I mean? It's like, okay.
Yeah, like very like, oh, you want juice? Oh, there's still some in here. I'm gonna drink
some too. Yeah,
I gave you juice. I deserve juice.
Yeah, and it's that, and then
he's a taker.
And then while Ray's telling him that whole fucking tale where about the heroin and getting out of jail and going meeting his boy Cypher, and then going and fucking they have the heroin and dealing it at the arcade and all sorts of crazy shit there. The only thing really that fucking Connie hears is, oh, you
there's a whole bottle of acid.
Yeah, you say there's a whole bottle. There's some money out there back at the theme park. There's acid there. You know, there's shit back there that we can do. So that they scheme to go back to the park. What was that, Adventureland, or what?
Something like that.
Yeah. So they scheme to go back to the park. That's where we meet the security guard there. That's where we see him there. It's like a whole thing, like just
trying to get in there, and they basically like knock him out and tackle him, and then police show up and they disguise him in their clothes, and Connie wears the security guard's outfit and pretends to be him. And then so the cops basically, they had given him acid
gave the fucking
too.
They tossed a bunch of acid in the fucking in the security guard's mouth while he's passed out after they knocked him out.
And then so when he comes to, he's all fucking tripping, and the cops are taking him and he's just like freaking out.
They fucked up so many people's fucking
nights. And you're just like, oh my gosh, this poor guy didn't do anything. And he's like, you could tell he's speaking another language, but it's just, he's so like panicked that the cops don't even want to deal with him, and they just take him. And then they find the girl, Crystal, wandering, and then the cops take her too.
Yep.
And Robert Pattinson is just watching her like, oh, I don't know her.
Yeah, I don't know her.
Like, I don't know her.
Yeah.
And she's so dumbfounded. She's just looking at him like, and it's like, yeah, bitch, what did you think was going to happen?
Yeah.
Now that I get older, I'm older now because I can see that whole like, shouldn't have done that.
But it's just like he just has wrecked, just like it's just wrecking so many lives, every fucking life, everybody that everything he touches turns to caca. Yeah. Like there's something that happens to everybody that he meets throughout this whole fucking movie.
So finally, he gets the other guy back, and they're gonna go. They decide to go to the security guard's apartment.
Yeah, his apartment. Yeah.
So they go to the apartment, and he has a crazy ass dog. And they finally put the dog in the room, and they're trying to figure out what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
And Ray says that he has a friend that'll come and give him money for the acid and pay him. And so the guy comes and basically like, I don't have the money on me. And so Robert Pattinson's like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I'm leaving.
He's like, 15,000.
I want 15,000.
And then Cypher's like, oh, well, yeah, we'll be back, bro. He's like, he's going to go get his fucking gun.
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
Like,
they're basically,
he's signaling,
and
I'm
so
gonna get a gun.
Robert Pattinson figures out a way to get away. Connie gets away, and the dog attacks Ray.
Yeah.
And so Ray's in the apartment, and he tells Cypher to come back, hurry up. He got away. And you just see Robert Pattinson running from the cops that are already pulled up outside. There's a bunch of cops
outside.
And you're just like, oh man. And he's like running, and he tosses the bottle, and he's running. And then they catch him. And then you see Ray telling Cypher, go get the bottle. It's on the roof. Mm-hmm. And this just escalates in this last little moment. So the cops are banging on the apartment door, and Ray's like, I'm going to climb out the window. And so you see Connie out there with the cops watching Ray climb out the window, and then boom, you just see him fall from the building.
Falling. That was shocking.
And you're just like,
yeah.
Yeah, it was just so many things, fast, and then he just falls. And you're just like, well, yeah, like, what? Yeah.
That's how the Safdie movies end?
And
Like
that's
how that they go?
basically the movie ends with Connie in the back of
Going
the
to
cop
jail.
car, and he's just sitting there like, didn't get the money.
Yep.
The bail bondsman has whatever money I already did have.
Yes.
And now I'm going to go to jail.
Yep.
And
I can't bail myself
my brother
out.
is still, his brother's basically the counselor, no, the caseworker that was interviewing him at the beginning gets him put into a program with other challenged people.
Yes.
And like,
tries to integrate.
Yeah. And so they're trying to like get him involved with the little group class, and like while the credits are rolling, I liked how that scene played out too. Where the credits are rolling and you see him in the group, like trying to figure out, like why am I here?
But like that, when he was just standing there, and she kept saying, "Okay, move if you did this."
And he's trying to figure out when
he only moved when it was like, "Move if something with your family."
Somebody made you do something. Somebody made you do something you didn't want to do, or you got in trouble for something that you didn't do.
And if you've ever been mad at somebody in your family, and then he moves again, like and that was like very specific.
He starts to realize,
Yeah. So that it was that. Yeah, it was that. That was pretty heartbreaking. But I mean, the best ending for him.
Yeah, right? I was like, good thing. Connie needed to go.
Yeah, Connie needed to get the fuck out.
He needed to get away from his brother.
He just needs to be at it. Like he loves his brother. He loves his brother. And like you do, but it's also like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He was also like a bully with him.
Yeah.
Like, yes, it was good that he was trying to treat him like he would treat anybody else, but to just disregard his disability, like, you think you're like that? You think something's wrong with you? Like,
yeah.
It was just kind of like, okay, you don't have to tough guy him. And so he was doing whatever Connie said so that Connie wouldn't bully him. And like, I'm just as tough as you are. I can do whatever you can do.
Yeah.
And he didn't even realize what he was doing.
True that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a very good movie. It ends with we'll go over the last song right now, but
and that's how, as fast as I described, that's how the movie goes.
That's how the movie moves.
Boom, boom.
Yeah, that's their movies. Mm-hmm. Their movies they escalate.
Like, you cannot watch this like ready for bed. No. This is not a chill. Like, you're gonna watch this
in
like
the middle of the fucking day.
You have Sunday off, and you already ate your breakfast, and now you're gonna watch a movie. Like, you fucking watch it, and it's good.
Let's talk about this soundtrack.
Yes.
Let's go through that first song, Good Time. It's like a basically 7-minute, like, fucking journey. Like, it's just, like, it's, like, you can't hear it right now, but it's, like, I mean, on these little fucking speakers, but you hear, like, a whoa, 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 whoa. Like, we start off with
a it's like a swelling, and it's growing, and you're just like, rumble. Oh, man.
And it just grows into some, like, just swell of things, and it's very pretty.
And then it's, like, jarring at one point.
Like, and it does this for a while, and it travels a bit, and it does like ethereal noise. I mean, that's a Oneohtrix thing. Mm-hmm. Ethereal noise. The synth, he uses a Juno 6, and he uses a bunch of other. He uses a lot of crazy shit, but he uses very vintage retro synths, like retro Junos and stuff like that, as well as weird computer stuff, like odd computer programs to help break up some of those. Like, there's little vocal parts that are going to come out of this too, and then it's going to just be jarring, like... There's a part in this where it gets, like, very percussive. And then there's, like, jammy parts on this, like, on this song too, right? Like, it's wild. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, it's all, and then it's like, okay, now the song's gonna start. It's all over the place.
Yeah.
But that's just the premise for the movie. It's all over the place.
Yeah, it's what's the opening, like like a prelude? Mm-hmm. Like a prelude? I don't know what the term is, like, overture. It's like the overture of the movie, you know, like, this is gonna happen before, like, this is like the kind of the title sequence. The title sequences too is pretty cool. Like, when it pops out, that's really cool.
Just all the scenes of the movie, just the different colors during different scenes.
Yeah,
and the high contrast of everything.
Yes, I like that. Yeah, exactly. The high contrast, like the grittiness of, like, the camera too. It's very, like, real and kind of more.
And I'm always wondering too, when I'm watching stuff, like, oh, I wonder what that smells like. Yeah. I wonder what, you know what I mean? I always wonder what things smell like during particular stuff.
Yeah. Next song is Bail Bonds. There's
Oh,
a little
yeah, this
more.
is the one.
Yeah, this starts off with yeah, and that's cool. Like, it's cool how he uses vocal samples because like this is something like Trent Reznor does for fucking stuff like the fucking Lost Highway stuff or the Natural Born Killers soundtrack and stuff.
Yeah.
But like the way this fool does it is like he just right there he transformed it all weird and like you know what I mean, like the way he
Yeah.
moved the sound, and then it just moves into like synths and background noise, and then it just gets percussive
A lot
out
of like
nowhere.
video, like it's a lot of video game.
Yeah, very video gamey music. Yeah, I would say that's vaporwave. That's weird, huh? Like it's just like it's hard to describe. Like that word has kind of been attached to this now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's how I
didn't know that that's what that was called, but
Me
to me,
neither,
it's video game music.
Yeah, video game music. But
Like scene music, but like
a lot
it's
of
for video.
his like his mixtapes and stuff, a lot of the album artwork is like old Sega artwork, and like
Yeah.
you know he kind of adopts that stuff, and that's
makes
what that
sense.
is. Yeah. But this is just traveling and wild. Like this one, this one's one of my favorite too. Like I like the more jammy ones where you could tell he's just like riding the some sort of synth, and he's just fucking around with it. Like it's very trippy. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sixth Floor is the next one, and that one goes a little something like this. Oh yeah, this one's one of the more percussive ones. This soundtrack has some of his more percussive tunes. I don't know. Yeah, I don't. I'm trying to think back to like all the other mixtapes and stuff. Like just the way he uses drums and stuff is like it's bombastic. Like they're bigger. But then there's some stuff that's a little more like rock songy that he does. That's weird. That's cool also. On one of the music videos I saw that the Safdie Brothers recorded, he does like rocky stuff. But even the drums on this, like they just like kind of disappear and it just turns like more glassy and stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. Next is a song called Hospital Escape and Accessoride. So this is the soundtrack to that hospital scene. That to me, it was like his timing was real good on that scene, and like that one freaked me out. Like that was one of the most freaky scenes for me.
Like you're just like, oh.
Yeah. Like
but then it's just like you realize people are just doing what they're not even paying attention to you.
They're not
really.
paying attention
So it's like
all.
unless you're willing to take the risk.
Yeah.
Most people are too scared because it's scary. Like, but it's just like that's how you get away with shit.
Yeah, that's true. He just acted like he needed to be there.
Didn't.
Yeah. Did not second guess himself. He was just so steadfast in that shit. Yeah. But this one's like very travelly. These last two remind me more of James Cameron also. Not James Cameron. Shit. Fucking John Carpenter. James Cameron. Ugh.
I was like, okay.
When James Cameron makes soundtrack music. No. John Carpenter music. Yeah. This is like somewhere in between John Carpenter and Daft Punk.
Yeah. That's why.
You know? Yeah. Ray wakes up. This one he's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And it's more sounds, this song. This song's more like where it's just like kind of noise, and like you could hear like the tussle. That it's like it's that, and that's another example of how Lopatin transforms a sample or like just like a speaking thing into a song. Like that's a lot. There's a lot of these that they'll transform. They don't just like
it becomes lyrics and
yeah. And it doesn't just like, how can I say it? It becomes a vocal part of the song, or like a vocal instrument. It has like a vocal timbre. That's how he uses the timbre of what they're saying, instead of like, you know, like other like punk rock songs and stuff will use quotes and stuff, and it's like, oh, they're playing like an emo like a quote. Like a quote from like a fucking, I don't know, like a Kevin fucking Smith movie or some shit. And it'll be like, to break down. Like, I've heard a lot of emo songs like that. But But this is like another way, just a better way to do that type of shit. Like, it's fucking cool. It's the next evolution of that shit. I really like how he transforms vocals.
I was like, oh.
But this one too, it's like it's very retro too. It's like that using those old synths, like it's very like also like Miami Vice-ish. Bless you. But yeah, like it's very like old Michael Mann music. Like you would see this like the there's some parts that are get back to those old like 80s crime movie scenes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like Heat, like the score for Heat or something like that. You could tell like these dudes are watching that also and like pulling from that type of shit. Really cool stuff. Oh, Flashback. Flashback's cool because I mean this is when they're talking about the whole trip. But it's just like it just gets more maniacal, the song does. Like it just kind of transforms over time. I like that, and then it's more of that synth. I like that. I like that it goes that way. Oh, that's right. This does have like a more like chill kind of drummy feel, like a more groovy feel. It's more steady. It's not like it's transformative. It gets weird, but it's also like, hey, I'm just telling you the story of what's happening. Yeah. I like that. That's cute. His stuff is cute at points.
It can be.
Like deceivingly so, where it's like you're watching.
It's a video game.
Yeah, you're listening to the video game of this, but then like the movie like that it's paired up with is like so fucking like hardcore. I mean, we're probably gonna talk about that more in Uncut Gems because like the music in Uncut Gems is also beautiful. Like there's cool shit that's like beautiful and trippy.
Yeah.
But like the movie is such a that one I remember was. That one felt to me a little more intense than this. I think it's probably longer too, so that's probably why. It might be longer. I don't know 100%. We're gonna see it. We'll see it. Yeah. We'll talk about it next time. Adventurers. So this is them going to the park and seeing what's up there. Yeah, this starts off with like a more metal-ish sound. And like steely, right? And like it sounds like they're going into a neon like park. You know what I mean? Like it's when I identify that like steeliness sound, like that kind of like it's percussive, but it's
like a tin can.
It's like a tin can, yes, like tin can, but they're playing it on the keys.
Yeah.
But this one, like he puts some sort of like sustain to it, so it extends for a while, and it's more like that, like more piercing.
Yeah, echoing.
I do associate that with like neon colors or like laser lights.
Yeah.
Like that's to me like that's kind of what I picture in my head. So like the way that this matched up with that scene was real cool. Like just the way that it matched up with the colors of it. I think that's pretty cool. The next one's called Romance Apocalypse. Yeah.
This song reminded me of a song, like another song, but I couldn't think of what.
This one reminded me of Beverly Hills Cop. Like yeah, that's what that reminded me of. Yeah. Just because I heard it yesterday too. I was like, oh yeah, the song.
Like it does.
So many songs on that. We might have to. It's because it's that sounds.
But have a guess for that one. I just can't. I can't with Eddie Murphy anymore. I just can't.
It's because the songs that were popping out and that I was like, oh, this one.
I'm sure you have somebody that would love to do those.
Yeah, you're true. You're true. I wonder if Mitch would be down for that one. I'm Mitchin' in the kitchen. The next one, yeah, this one just. It gets very video gamey. It gets very zony. It gets very all the synths are kind of just whirling around each other, and like the high pitched synths are there, but the low pitch, like the bass is like the low pitch synths. The bass synths are very like prominent and like very driving. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's his percussiveness. Like, his percussiveness comes from like the lower tones and things that he does. And like he is one of those people that does use mouth sounds for certain things too. On his latest record, no, not the latest one. Actually, yeah, the latest one too. It's called Once Again, but the one before that was called Magic Oneohtrix Point Never. There was more mouth noise on that, which I was like, but he's kind of tasteful with it, and he does something different with it. Where I was like, okay, I listened to it a little bit better. Yeah. The Acid Hits is the next song. The next song is called The Acid Hits. And it's a trip. It's starting off just like if we're like in a steam bath.
Right? And it's seeping through all
It's
your
seeping
pores.
through. And what are we doing? Is this slow?
What are we
What are we
doing?
doing? Is this slow-mo? Remember slow-mo?
Yep.
We also watched this movie called Dread the other day.
Last night.
Last night?
The other day.
It was last night?
I think.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
We watched
pretty
Dread last night. Slow-mo. We want to do that drug. That drug's fucking awesome. Have you ever seen Dread? It just slows down. Yeah.
The new version.
The new version of Dread. Not Judge Dredd.
Just Dread. The
But
new
Dread,
version,
yes,
where
Dread, the new
Lena
version.
Headey plays Mama.
Mama.
I liked her. That was badass.
It was
Mama.
ghost directed by Alex Garland, who most recently directed Civil War. He also directed Annihilation and Annihilation and Man. He directed Man.
We said we were gonna rewatch that.
Yeah. He also wrote The Beach, which
Love it.
we're probably gonna cover that. We're probably gonna cover The Beach. I mean, we've talked about Alex Garland quite like. He also wrote, what was that movie? Sunshine, and 28 Days Later. He wrote them. Yeah. He's the writer. Yeah. Sunshine fucking was a kick-ass movie. So is 28 Days Later. Yeah. Danny Boyle movies. Boom. I mean, Danny Boyle was like the first introduction on this. Like, Trainspotting was the first episode on this podcast, which you should go check out. Trainspotting with my friend Luis Mota. Yeah, check it out. Like his melodies, like his synth melodies are pretty cool. Like, I just like his arpeggios and like what he does. The it's menacing enough. It's video gamey enough. But it still has like,
on you.
Yeah.
It's still high energy,
And
like
it's-
fast paced.
it's still it's
you're
Wendy.
running.
It's kind of Wendy Carlos. You know, like it's Tron. It is very Wendy Carlos. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. The next one is called Leaving the Park. This one was like kind of bouncy. I like that. I like that. I like those types of sounds where it's you can tell they're kind of like on a grid. You can tell it's kind of
On the
mapped out
grid.
on the grid. Ooh, they were on the grid. I mean, so like this is a very Lopatin does very sci-fi soundtracks for non-sci-fi films, which give the films a sci-fi patina. You know what I mean? Patina. You like that? Yeah. But like that's what like this wasn't a sci-fi movie, but to me it does fall. It can be screened along with like Blade Runner. You know, I could see
it's
them two being
like
back to back. Like a double feature. Yeah.
like what's gonna happen?
Yes. Like it's still noiry enough. It's still like but and then it's still colorful, and the music's still like the Vangelis soundtrack on that and stuff. We're gonna have to talk about that at some point too. That's real quick. That's a change we're gonna make. Like that's just one change. We're gonna stop doing the like. I mean, for some of them, we might do like clumps of soundtracks for like Sofia Coppola or Wes Anderson. Like, I think those projects would be cool. But for a bit of time, we're just gonna kind of like right now. It's gonna like the next series is gonna be a loose curation of stuff. We're gonna have fun with it. and things like that. We're because we want to do Blade Runner without having to be attached to something. We want to do The Beach without it having to be attached to something. Those are things we want to do, and we want to have some fun with it. So I think we're cool with the structure for right now. I think the Safdie thing it's pretty cool. It's been pretty cool. But beyond this, we're gonna be a little more chill on that. So that's that little announcement in the middle of this all. The next song is called Connie, and Connie's song is pretty like rockin', like pretty fucking. That was the Bail Bonds one too. The Bail Bonds one at the end gets like very like jammy, very rocky at the end. Yeah, that one's like jam out song. That's one that's pretty cool because he like Oneohtrix Point Never does have weirdly like a few like cool rock like guitaring songs. Like there's some cool shit that he does, and a lot of like there's a lot of sounds that are he's jamming on the synthesizer, but there's some that he is like piercing the guitar, like he's just
you can hear the guitar.
Yeah, there's a lot of like guitar sound like that old 80s like but he takes it to this other like level. Like there's I want to say his sound has kind of like that grit and dust around it, but that analog, the way that the Tron suits looked, how they had that analog kind of glow and that filmy kind of glow is the way I feel his sounds sound. You know what I mean? They still have a little bit of dustiness, a little bit extra warmth to them. That adds to me. It adds like a little bit of an extra layer to the sound of this movie, and like it's kind of it kind of warms up the movie because the movie itself is a bit cold. Like the color, like yes, there's bright colors and stuff, but there's also like long periods of just like they're kind of more dark greens and like just like the desaturated kind of bluish kind of looks and stuff. It can be more cold, but even in the more steely sounds and the more like piercing things. Ooh, that was weird. Whoa, something fell in the studio. Ooh, but even in that realm, like there's still a warmth because of the retro synths on this. The last song is called "The Pure and the Damned." And it features vocals. It's Oneohtrix Point Never, but it features vocals by Iggy Pop. This song they wanted, so Oneohtrix Point Never originally wanted it to be sung by a very reclusive crooner whose name is Lewis. I need to check out. I'll probably link Lewis's stuff in the show notes and stuff. But very reclusive. They didn't even think that Lewis would want the recognition for being part of that. But that was kind of like the idea that they had for that. So they went for the next best thing, I guess. Fuck it, I like Iggy Pop. Like that's like the combination of creativity in this one thing. I was saying that on the music video watch along that you guys should check out on Ko-Fi. But I was saying that like the combination of it's the Safdies behind the film feature itself. It's Iggy Pop like singing, like he's a G. We've talked about him before. Talked about Iggy Pop on the Trainspotting episode. Also bring up Trainspotting. You know what I mean? So Lost Highway. No. Man, what did we bring him up on? He's been on a few. We've talked about him a few times. Anyway, like he's the man. So the music video too. So the music video for this song is the dream scenario of what as if they would have gotten away with the robbery. This video portrays that. But then it's also it's very lynchy, the music video, and it's like there's a weirdly computer animated Iggy Pop in it, but it also stars Robert Pattinson and Benny Safdie. Like they're in I'll show you the music video after this. But they're just kind of going mad in this like house in the woods. It's kind of wild. Yeah. There's like You gotta I'll watch. There's a taxidermy hyena. It's weird. Yeah, it's fucking weird. It's crazy. Very lynchy. It got very lynchy. Like that's why I love music videos.
Yeah.
They can do weird shit with music videos. But it starts off as a piano tune and it just like trails off into like synth heaven and just weirdness, and we get like a vocal breakdown. Like he just says stuff.
Yeah.
Too. And then just like
monologues,
and then that's the song that the movie ends on. Like it's just heartbreaking. Like we see Benny or Nick dancing with the friends, but the song that's the outro completely to the story, and we are done with our Oneohtrix Point Never, the first episode of that. Done talking about our first Safdie movie. What do you think overall?
It was good.
Yeah,
just like when you watch them for the first time, they are very abrasive, but you can appreciate what it is. Like, not every movie is a happy ending. Not every movie is like a nice story. Like, sometimes you have to see the gritty stuff. Like, this stuff, what happens in this movie, I'm sure happens every day. And it's not like, you know what I mean? But it can be shocking, and you know what I mean? When it's not like something that you see every day.
And it
happens in the world every day, you know?
I think it also, to me, like, it was like illustrating the systems, right? Like the system that Nick is trapped in, being developmentally disabled and an adult, and like people kind of shunning you, you know what I mean? They put you into these pockets and these corners. There's not really a lot of help there. Like, there's people that are trying to understand you, but
I think it shows elderly too, because they talk about like the grandma and like how you get the feeling that Connie just hates the grandma, but it's probably because she tells him he's a piece of shit.
Right.
And also what's her face's mother. Oh, she's basically takes advantage of
Jennifer
her
Jason
too.
Leigh's mom. Yeah, that's true too. It's that. I mean, it's the crime. That's not the first time Connie's ever gone to jail. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like that's not the first
and he's
time
a repeat
he's been
offender.
In trouble. That's not the first time.
He's just trying to have a good time. You know what I mean? Like he's used to having a good time.
Done with you.
But yeah, that it's just like it just shows like this the system can become a cycle, and you just get reprocessed, and you're just in there, and you're just, you know, and even the like with Ray like, oh, I just got out, bro, and I don't want to go back, and you can tell he's probably been back and forth a few times, and he still gets himself into the system because he just wants to have a good time. I mean, it's so that this second watch for me. This was a second watch for me. This was like the third watch for you, fourth watch, something like that, maybe.
Maybe third or fourth.
Yeah, I loved it. I had a good time watching this. I'm a big fan of what they do, and they're not making movies together anymore. That's what they're saying. They're not going to do movies together anymore. But I'm excited to see what they're doing. Next film we're watching, Uncut Gems. Uncut Gems, starring Adam Sandler, and the Safdies directing it. Oneohtrix Point Never does the soundtrack. I'm excited to watch it. I've been like, I was.
It's been long enough to where it's like it'll be like the first time again.
Yeah, but then the first time was like, oh fuck, like the first time.
And then it was during COVID, wasn't it? When we watched it, I think it was during COVID.
It was just
like
I want to say it was one of the first movies we watched at a theater. Because
I feel like we watched it at your apartment.
No, we watched that. We watched that one. We went to the movies to watch it. Because I remember coming out of there like, fuck. And like,
maybe it was when we first moved here and we watched it at Alamo.
Maybe it was that. Yeah. But I remember watching it in the theater, and we haven't seen it since. Yeah.
Okay.
So pretty stoked, pretty excited to check it out. Yeah. Okay, that's that. Make sure to follow us at Monostereo Video on Instagram, at deepcuts_EP to check out Casey's salon, at Casey is Harry, at _JJCABALLERO, www.jjcaballero.com. Find us on Ko-Fi, ko-fi.co-fi.co/Monostereo Video, and you'll see those links in the show notes below. You'll also see You'll also see links to a bunch of other stuff, helping out Palestinian people, helping out people who are protesting, helping out with their legal fees and such. Tons of other links to articles that we talked about today. Thank you very much for listening and continuing to listen, and for being patient with us as we had these little technical issues and stuff like that. But also, June is fucking busy. June has been fucking busy. We're fucking exhausted. We're fucking exhausted right now. There's just a lot. So we're having fun watching these movies. We want to keep having fun doing these episodes. We're gonna figure what's up with that. But either way, thank you very much. Next time we'll check out Uncut Gems, and we will listen to you later.